What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. And man, oh man, the Boston Celtics are the 2024 NBA champions. Man, sensational closeout game, and they deserve it. You know, a 64 win team sweeps through the playoffs like this. Everybody thought that they were going to be, facing the most devastating team out the West. And it was the complete opposite. I mean, complete domination, man. I mean, oh my gosh, like the way that this game went, it was just in the favors of the gods, for the basketball gods, for the Boston Celtics to come through and win this thing. And they're going to hang banner number 18, man. They're going to hang banner number 18, rub it all in Laker Nation face as the Lakers figure out what's best for them. They're celebrating this thing pretty big as we speak. Now, let's talk about Jayson Tatum, man. I'm super happy for him, man. Seeing this guy, hoist this trophy, man. And keep in mind, guys, he was under a lot of scrutiny all season, from not just the NBA, but players, ex-players of the NBA, the fans. And he wanted to prove to himself, man, and also following behind, the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, everything that he learned from Kobe Bryant, everything that Kobe Bryant has instilled in him. I just know that Kobe Bryant is, looking above and just smiling down on Jayson Tatum for his success. And I'm super, happy to see this, man. A humble guy, doesn't want to take the spotlight, and super happy for his teammates, doesn't have to be the number one guy all the time, doing what he needs to do to just break through and win. And now that they have this championship pedigree, who knows, what the next few seasons are going to look like. Man, the sky's the limit. So congratulations to Jayson Tatum. And man, oh man, Paul Pierce is about to cut up on Undisputed. I cannot wait to tune in to see what this is going to look like, man. I know Paul Pierce, man, the truth is going to rub this in Skip Bayless's face. And I know that Skip Bayless is going to be seething, boy. I know you're going to be so mad, because y'all know that dude do not like to lose. When I saw the ceremony, I just thought of Paul Pierce, man. And this picture is his mood 24/7 when it comes to his Boston Celtics, man. And how sensational is this for him and Kevin Garnett to just be proud of these young kids, man, that were able to get this thing done at such a young age. Because, man, like, this thing is tough, game after game after game, round after round. And I get it. It looked like it was easy, for the Boston Celtics, but they lived up, man. They showed that they were ready and that they were not a fluke. So you gotta respect that. You gotta understand that, these things, they don't come a dime a dozen. And to even put the cherry on top, we got my main man, Jaylen Brown. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. I gotta let it breathe real quick, man, because he deserves that MVP. We saw him just emerge as the leader, and it just felt like the leader he is displaying in front of us, he was already that person. And it just seems like he was trying his best to not leapfrog Jayson Tatum, but man, you just can't help what God has given you. And God gave this guy, a gift, man. He's a natural born leader. The NBPA, the National Basketball Player Association, he just always represents a stand-up class to him. And I feel like with this experience, he's only going to continue to soar. And you have to acknowledge that, this team was often trying to trade him, and he was always felt like he was the underdog. He always felt like he had something to prove. He just always felt like he maybe wasn't good enough. But to see him, man, in this moment, and to see that he never quit, it just goes to show you, man, that you just got to keep believing in yourself, no matter what people say about you, even if it's your own organization, even if it's your own team. Because in the end, you can be the person holding up the Larry O'Brien, and also being the finals MVP. So I'm super happy to see Jaylen Brown get this, and also to see that Jayson Tatum is thoroughly happy for him. Jayson Tatum knows that he's going to most likely be the number one. He's going to always be what most teams want: his size, his athleticism, the defender he is, his offensive bag. He knows that. So to see his brother, man, hoist this is going to put so much chemistry and bond in, between those two, and continue to lean on one another to come to moments like this, man, and to celebrate, man. Like, man, I'm just, you saw it, man, during the MVP, during the Finals MVP when they was giving out the trophy. You just saw him, cursing, saying, "We did this, we did this S word ourselves. We don't give a F how nobody took this," because now he can let it out, all of the anger, all of the doubts, from the naysayers, and this is, his moment. He deserved to do that. Derek White, man, leaves it all on the floor, literally, even if it's his teeth. Left it on the floor, man. You saw what happened. I believe it was first or second quarter. I can't remember. But you saw him, bleeding from the mouth profusely, man. You just saw this guy dive on the floor. You saw, I think it was Lively, land and face plants this guy. And this guy just breaks his teeth. You see blood coming everywhere. They were trying to cover it up. And guess what, man? This guy refused to come out of the game. He got patched up, went right back in. He just refused to give up. He refused to give up, man. And I just felt like all playoff series, man, this guy was underrated, man. And he finally got acknowledged for the most part, during this final series. But, man, all series, this guy has been doing it, man. Doing the hustle work, the backdoor cuts, the screen setting. When you're down and out, a big three, defending the ball like crazy, coming from behind on Luka and stealing the ball when Luka isn't paying attention, man. This guy just does it all. And they're going to have to make a tough decision when it comes to this dude, because teams are going to pursue him, man. And how sensational is that to see this guy from the Spurs losing like crazy and still keeping his spirit, man. I mean, you see this guy during the trophy ceremony, man. Just his spirit, he just seems like a good guy, like a guy that just doesn't want to be in conflict, but just want to support his brothers and do what he needs to do. This guy is sensational, and I'm praying, man. I'm hoping and praying that this guy can take Kawhi Leonard's position on Team USA, because, man, God works in mysterious ways, man, and I just want this guy to get his just due, man. And that's what it's all about for me, in my opinion, and deservingly so. But let's get to Joe Mazzulla, man, and give him his flowers, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was an Ime Udoka fan to the fullest. He just fit the Celtics. I felt like, he had the stature, he had the demeanor. And when this guy got the job, man, he was the assistant, I believe. They got promoted up into interim head coach. And, no one took this guy serious, man. But I'm going to tell you guys, man, Joe Mazzulla got a lot of my respect, man. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. He got a lot of my respect, because though he was going through so much scrutiny, people didn't know if the Celtics were going to let him go, if he couldn't get through with this team, which is proper business. I get it. But he's a made man, and we can't say nothing. We can't say a damn thing, but congratulations, man. You showed us. You know what I'm saying? You showed us, and a guy like this has my respect. He keeps his faith. That's one thing about him. He just knows the right things to say in the media. He isn't too tongue-in-cheek, and he's a serious dude, man. And he really does fit this Boston media. I mean, he's Belichick-esque to me. And who knows? Maybe Belichick is like a mentor to this dude, or maybe they have relationships. I don't know. But he just comes off as a traditional head coach to me. I know a lot of people didn't believe in this guy. Like I said, I was one of those guys. But guess what? Throughout the playoffs, I just saw his demeanor. I saw his seriousness. And when I was comparing the coaches, Jason Kidd and him, and I was just like, if I had to be honest, if I had to follow a guy, it would be Joe Mazzulla, man. You could tell that this team did not respect him at first, and you look at them now, man, like they know that this guy cares about them, right? They know that this guy's a serious dude, and he won their respect. In fact, he took their respect, and now that he took them to the promised land and delivered, man, this city owes him a bunch, man. He will forever be in their depth, and they can continue to grow together, man. So, I mean, who knows, man? Could this potentially be a dynasty? I mean, the East isn't as strong as the West. I don't know. But I'm super happy for this dude, man. He keeps his family involved. He keeps his faith involved. And he just knows how to answer the right way. Shout out to my guy. Oh, my goodness. I mean, shout out to Brad Stevens, man. This guy reminds me, y'all know the Eagles are my favorite team, but this is Howie Roseman-esque. The way that this guy completely robbed the NBA. Brad Stevens completely robbed the NBA, man, of Porzingis and Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? And I can only think, guys, I'm sorry. One can only think how Luka is feeling for not capitalizing off of the talent of the unicorn, man. You know, being so selfish. You saw it all playoffs, man. And I'm going to get to that later in this video, man. But right now, man, Luka has to be feeling it, man, because you had that. You had that, and you chose to abuse it because what? You're spoiled. You're a European player that's used to having your way, early success. But nonetheless, this isn't about Luka right now. Let's stay on topic, guys. And I'm just happy for this. Drew Holiday, Brad Stevens, Derek White. Oh my goodness, Giannis, you just pretty much, like Joel Embiid said, and I'm going to make a video about that, guys. You just gave Drew Holiday away. You pretty much gave the Celtics a championship. It is what it is. You guys see Drew Holiday serving all playoffs, man. He even had I think game 1 was his game. I felt like most of this game he was consistent, you know, killing them with the backdoor cuts, Lando with the left hand, man. Oh my goodness, like Milwaukee Bucks, man. I know that Giannis really wanted, you know, a superstar, but this goes to show you that you have to be in control of your organization, man. Like Brad Stevens is lock and step with the owner and the head coach. So no player is about to run this organization. This is a historic franchise, and the Lakers, honestly, the Lakers could honestly take a page from this because now that they got LeBron James over there and he's running the organization, you see why this team is hanging banner number 18. It is what it is. But yeah, man, if I'm Giannis, man, I'm sitting back feeling like, damn, like I had that, but I wanted to be selfish. I became more Americanized for one, and I wanted to bite off more than I can chew. And I honestly don't know if Giannis may ever get to like this because Drew Holiday, man, his all-around game is sensational. Shout out to Brad Stevens, man, for, you know, the epic roster that he has put, you know, that he's put together. And I also want to say, man, shout out to Al Horford, man, repping the Dominican hard as he can. Super happy for this man because we all know that he just refused to retire unless he got the ring, man. And I think that maybe, you know, he can walk into the sunset. You know, he can hang it up if he wants. I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy. We saw his career, and he's been a consistent player from OKC, the Celtics, Philadelphia, and back to the Celtics, man. So, I mean, I'm really ecstatic and happy for this guy. He's a family man, and he does a lot of sacrifices for this team. His veteran presence is always felt, man. You got to think about it, man. There are always pieces to a complete puzzle, man, and he is the OG piece to the puzzle, man. Like, you know, this guy has been landing on the line for years and years and years, man. And a guy like this, man, Dominican Republic, is going to stand up and be very, very happy for this guy, man, because this is not easy. And I've been to the DR a few times, man. It's you know, a guy like this coming out of that, you know, man, I salute that to the fullest, man. I'm just being honest. And he deserves it, man. He deserves to be happy. He deserves to get his ring, man. And this guy, for some reason, never ages. I just feel like he still has a lot of basketball left in him. He kind of reminds me of an Andre Iguodala type of presence, type of role, type of veteranship. So kudos to you, Al Horford, man. Okay, guys, last but not least, we must close out with the Dallas Mavs, man. They could not get the job done. And yes, there is a lot to blame. One, it just starts with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Okay, let's be honest. Superstars like to get the credit. They got to get the blame, right? Luka Doncic has a lot to work on. One, your conditioning. Two, your attitude. You have to realize, man, that this isn't the Euro League and that you cannot do things and get away with them that you're normally used to getting away with. You know what I'm saying? You can't act like a baby. You can't cry. Luka Doncic simply needs to man up. You know, I know that he's a finesse player. I know he likes to use tricks to draw fouls, but at the end of the day, man, it boils down to basic basketball. Boston Celtics beat you guys playing basic basketball. Kyrie Irving is, to me, still trying to prove himself as a human being. And that's the weirdest thing to me. I'm not taking anything from him. You know, let me take that back. It's not actually weird, okay? But I think in the moment, you know, you have to capitalize off of your talent. And I think that because of Kyrie's mindset, it is allowing him to focus more on his spiritual of just becoming a better man. And when you focus that type of attention, man, it takes away from your raw talent. It doesn't mean that you still can't be special, but at the moment you have to pour into other things. And it just seems like Kyrie Irving is focused on, letting the world change how he is or how they view him. And the Boston Celtics took him out. I'm just going to be honest with you. The crowd took him out. You saw it in his face. You saw it from game one, him trying to brush it off. He constantly, repeatedly kept talking about the fan base, constantly kept bringing it up that it wasn't bothering him, but it looks like in the end it did, right? So I just feel like those are the two major pieces that need to be worked on, let alone back to Luka Doncic, man. You have to continue to keep your teammates involved. I just saw all night him refusing to give the ball up because he's so bullheaded and he got in his own way. I mean, you don't want to get your teammates involved because you deep down, he just doesn't trust that he just doesn't trust anybody else to get the job done besides him. And that's what it boils down to. If I'm the owner and the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, I'm having a serious talk with Luka Doncic in his ways, man, because it's just not conducive for team chemistry. You know what I'm saying? You see the frustrations on a lot of the role players' face. Yes, he's a phenomenal offensive talent, but he just has to grow up. You know what I'm saying? And, he should look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, who was the same way as him, right? Same way as him, who was bullheaded, but naturally a good talent, right? But you see what Kyrie Irving had to go through to get growth. And you have that in the building with you, man. So you just got to capitalize off of that. And with the lack of involvement, man, of your role players, man, it just makes them look even more mid. I know during the playoff run, you had spurts of players that look great. But when you don't keep them involved, man, they just look mid. They look like they were in over their head all game. And I just put a lot of that blame on Luka, man. Kyrie Irving, too. I mean, it is what it is. And they just have to go back to the drawing board and make a lot of adjustments. And they seem to be, honestly, after this, I still feel like they seem to be a ways away from a complete championship type of team. And it starts with the mindset of Luka Doncic, guys. And honestly, guys, the way that the Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, goodness gracious, I think that they tanked game 4 just to come back home and do it big, home court, in front of the crowd, and go out with a bang. I mean, goodness, could you imagine how this is going to look on a documentary? Derek White losing his teeth, Jaylen Brown, Pritchard hitting logo threes down there. The defense, the slow motions, the dunks from Jaylen Brown, the coaching, like it's going to look phenomenal, guys. So you tell me what y'all think as the Boston Celtics are the 2024 NBA champions, man, deservingly so. Weigh in with your thoughts, comments, and concerns, man. Don't forget, guys, like this video and make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more content. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. See you guys next time. Peace.